Hi, my name's Adam Tigas, and this is my dog Bailey. Today, I'm going to be teaching you guys how to teach your dogs tricks. Dogs can be extremely fun animals, but if they don't listen to you, they can be very frustrating. So that's why in this speech, I'm going to be teaching you guys not only the general basics of how to teach a dog a trick, but also how to teach them the actual tricks themselves, and maybe a couple more advanced tricks, if you're lucky.
Now, before we actually get into the star of the show, I'm going to teach you guys how to teach a dog a trick first. Now, there's two different ways that you can teach a dog a trick. Before I teach you how the right way to do it is, I'm going to talk to you guys about the negative way to do it. And this is called negative reinforcement training. Now, this is not backed by any major pet stores or any kind of training technique you'll find online, but unfortunately, uninformed people use this method to teach their dogs tricks. It's called negative reinforcement training, and it is basically just getting mad at the dog, abusing the dog, all kinds of different things to get the dog to do what you want it to, but you're not doing it in a friendly, friendly manner. Alright, now that you know how not to teach a dog a trick, I'm going to talk to you about the right way to do it. And this is called positive reinforcement training. This is when we first got our dog, we went to PetSmart, and this is how they taught us to teach a dog a trick. What you're going to want to do is basically trick the dog into getting it to do what you want it to do, and then when it finally does that, you're going to praise it and give it treats, and you're going to love that dog, because then it's going to want to do that action further in the future. Right, Bailey? Alright, now that we know the right way to teach a dog a trick, we're going to teach my dog here, Bailey, how to sit. It's one of the most basic instructions that almost every dog knows how to do, and that's why we're learning this one first. What you're going to want to do is hold the treat right about here so that the dog's going to look at the treat. Then by default, its body position, it's going to sit. And when it does, you're going to give the dog the treat and praise it like it just did the exact right thing that you wanted it to do, because it did. And then it's going to want more treats in the future, so it's going to go back to sitting when you say sit. Now make sure your voice is firm when you do this, because when your voice is firm, then that gets in the dog's memory, and then they're going to know every time you say that command that that's what they want you to do. Alright, so Bailey, get up, come on, sit, good dog, good dog, good girl. Alright, this next trick is a little bit harder than sit, but it's still pretty basic. We're going to teach the dog how to lay. Now what you're going to do is you're going to get the dog from sit position, sit, and then you're going to bring the treat down so she lays. Good dog. Good job, Bailey. This next trick is a little bit more advanced. It's going to build off the first two tricks that she learned, and this trick is going to be to roll over. Now in order to do this, you're going to want to hold the dog and get her to sit, then you're going to get her to lay, and then you're going to bring the treat back around by her tail so she's watching it, and then she'll just naturally roll over. Now remember, this whole time you're going to want to keep a firm voice, so later when you say roll over, she'll know what to do. So Bailey, sit, lay, and roll over. Good dog. This next trick is a little bit more advanced than even roll over was, because this one you can't really naturally get them to do, and it's probably the trick that me and my sister had the hardest time teaching my dog Bailey. It takes a lot of persistence, but eventually the dog's going to understand what to do. To teach a dog to shake, you're going to want to get the dog to sit first, then you're going to clench it in your hand, and then you're just going to say, shake. And naturally, she's going to paw at your hand, so then eventually when she does that, you're going to give her the treat and say, Bailey, good girl. So, okay, here we go. We're going to get another treat, and we're going to put it all together. Sit, shake, good girl, good job, good job. Now that you've successfully taught your dog all these tricks, let's put it all together and see how it looks. Bailey, sit, lay, roll, come here, sit, shake. Good dog. Good job, Bailey. You're such a good dog. Alright, in this speech, I taught you guys how to teach your dogs at home 4 simple basic tricks. How to sit, lay, roll over, and shake. Now these are fairly simple tricks that you're going to teach a dog that either you just got or if you're teaching your dog tricks for the first time. Because these are fairly simple, it goes along with a simple bond that you might have with your dog. The longer you own your dog, the stronger your bond is going to be, the better tricks you can probably teach it. Because, in my opinion, tricks are a tangible evidence to the bond that you share with your dog. About 87% of dogs that have been owned for over about 8 months know some form of trick or command. And that just goes to show that people teach their dog tricks not only because it amuses them, but because they can show it to their friends and say, hey, this is how strong of a bond I have with my dog. Now, I'm going to leave you guys for about 8 months know some form of trick or command. And that just goes to show that people teach their dog tricks not only because it amuses them, but because they can show it to their friends and say, hey, this is how strong of a bond I have with my dog. Now, I'm going to leave you guys with a quote from Melissa Roberts, who's a dog trainer. And somebody asked her once, why do you choose to teach your dog tricks? And she said, I want to have a connection with my dog. I want my dog to understand me, and I want to understand her.